Okay. First things first. Bosnia. Bosnia. I have changed around some glams. This is... Oh, yeah, no. So this is my Island Sanctuary glam. For the most part. Because my... the glam that I had picked for Paladin, I can't actually use until I get Paladin to level 90. My Paladin is not yet level 90. This is my Island Sanctuary glam, which I quite like. Why... Oh, it's because I've got one equipped. Oh. Hold on. If I'm going to take any of them, it would be the glowy glow. Give me the glowy glow. So now I have to equip the glowy glow like it's a weapon, even though it's a replica. But okay, we have the glowy glow. Master Geralt has made ready the forge, and all the other requisite materials are accounted for. May I see the crystals you've collected? Yeah, I did quite a few Delibram runs. Now, let's take these to Master Geralt. I can scarcely wait to see what wonders he will work with his forge. Aye, that seems to be everything. Time to get to work. Why don't you go and tell the node what tickles your fancy whilst... Fancy? What the fuck? Fancy. While I start in on the weapon. Speaking of the elegant node, Regana, a sealant was required when we last made use of it. Will we not have need of more? Yes, a sealant made with ethereal siltstone is still required to complete the refining process. However, when making adjustments to the node and testing the enhanced coating process, there was a surprising amount of sealant left unused. Should be enough for now, but if After should be inclined to refine other weapons, we'll need to acquire more. That's awful kind of you. Maybe ain't such a skinflint after all. Well, it is in everyone's best interest to see these weapons perfected, and if the House of Splendors is to establish good relations with the Resistance, a constant cutthroat approach to business will get us nowhere. That don't sound like the House of Splendors I know. But if you've a mind to throw the Resistance a bone, who am I to argue? Weapon receptacle ready for ethereal insulation coating application. Please select desired attribute adjustment. I don't care. I just don't care. If it looks like what that preview window showed, I might not like this weapon. Aye, that'll do. That Allegan node did a mighty fine job on the finishing touches. Yeah. The hopes and dreams of ancient Bosnia made manifest. A blade truly worthy of Gunhilda's blades. Blade's honor. I'd prefer that without the, like, tangent spikes at the top. Of course, we can't forget her twin, Blade's fortune. Maybe dyed, the sword will look better, but the sword will look weird with a different shield. The Queen's inscription ain't never shined so bright as when I hammered them crystals into the resistance weapon. Can scarcely imagine what went into the making her save the Queen. Having come face to face with Her Majesty yourself, I suppose you'd know better than any of us how potent the power of memories and emotion can be, eh? And now that self-same power's coursing through your resistance weapon. Reckon even Queen Gunhilda herself would be hard-pressed to draw any more power out of them inscriptions. The way you describe it, one might think this resistance weapon rivals the strength of Save the Queen. Aye, Zlatan, that she might. What did you just call me? Surely I'm not the only one who heard that. My actual name? Oh, I pray this is not merely a fleeting moment of sobriety. So that's his name. Suppose it was only a matter of time before I got it right. But anyway, let's not get carried away with celebrating just yet. We still have to share the fruits of our labour with Bajsaljan and the others. Yes, of course. I'll go and inform them immediately. And I will see our contract to its conclusion. A weapon beyond even the reach of Gunhilda's blades. Truly a marvel of craftsmanship. Though you were tasked only with recreating the weapons of Queen Gunhilda's illustrious guard, it is clear you have gone far above and beyond what anyone could have hoped for. There is no doubt in my mind that you have made this seemingly impossible dream reality. And I can think of no finer soldier than you to wield it, Blade Bun. In your hands, it shall serve as a reminder of our hard-earned freedom. Now that the weapon is forged, I wish to discuss the matter of payment for supplies and services rendered to the Resistance. In light of the considerable drain on the house's resources, I am afraid the cost for manufacturing subsequent Resistance weapons will henceforth be doubled. I wish it were not so, but Mistress Rowena insisted. Did I now? Mistress Rowena? To what do we owe the pleasure? Zlatan here called me, hoping to talk over the terms of the wholesale contracts I supposedly offered the Resistance. And after speaking with Jasana and the others, they said it was you who set up these deals. Clearly you are open to skim a not so small amount of profits off the top, ain't that right? No, never. All that I do has ever been for the House of Splendors. And how, exactly, is trying to steal profits from your colleagues in the company's best interest? Using me good name to try and extort decent folk? This is supposed to impress me. You're very much mistaken. Impress? Aye, for reasons I'll likely never understand, this one here took a real shine of me. Matter of fact, unlike most of the other girls, she joined the House of Splendors because she wanted to learn the trade. And from her very first day, she'd run herself ragged trying to prove her worth. We stood to make so much from this deal. I hoped you might overlook me using your name to see it done. I've betrayed the trust you've placed in me, and for that I'm truly sorry. I'll not darken your door again, Mistress Rowena. If I might interject, Regana's work with the Resistance has been nothing short of exceptional. From her commissioning of the Allagan node to her assistance with our research, she's contributed much and more to our cause. Why, she's even helped keep Geralt focused, and most importantly, sober, long enough to see the job through to its conclusion. It is no exaggeration to say that without her, we would not be presenting Bajsaljan with the fruits of our labours. If you would find it within your heart to forgive Regana for her transgressions, it would be my honour and privilege to continue business with the House of Splendours with her as your representative. Provided our original agreement stands, and the cost of your services has not, in fact, doubled, I see no reason to object to a continued partnership. Seeing as we narrowly avoided any wrongdoing, I'm willing to agree to our client's wishes. Regana will remain here and oversee house business until the obligations of our contract have been fulfilled. That sounds all well and good, but I thought our work, and more importantly my contract, was finished after I hammered out that weapon. Your jokes never were funny, Geralt. The original agreement was to forge weapons for all of Gunhilda's blades. Your work has only just begun. Blade Bun's weapon was always meant to only be a prototype, though experience tells me remembrance of fine details is not one of your strong suits. And my experience tells me you lot should keep an eye on how much that daft sod's been drinking. I can tell you now, I ain't paying for any of it, so be sure to charge him for every drop. I think I've got one of Nyx's hairs just stuck in my mustache, tickling my nose. Thank you, Bajsaljan. I swear you'll not regret this. And there's yet a long road ahead of us, Blade Bun. But I have faith in you. And them. For far too long, the people of Bosnia have been without a symbol of hope. But now, thanks to you and the others, they will soon find one. First resistance weapon complete. Honestly, that last stage was much easier than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. I don't hate the glow effect on the sword. And I really think I would prefer the shield without that top bit. If it was just like a round shield with the crystals coming off it. Ooh. Hold up. Okay, we might have something here. We might have something here after all. I might be able to fuck with this after all. Interesting. And now there's a matte version as well, which is just the same thing, but without the glow effect. Okay. I like that that's an option. Yep, that's our first. Our first one of these. First relic weapon. Cool. I now need to mark that off on my tracker, and I will not be able to earn any more. Well, hold on. I know what I can do here. Yeah, this is the new warrior gland. Because why not? Okay, so by feeding those in, this can't be skipped. Oh, because I have to allocate stats. I'm not really going to be using the weapon, so it doesn't really matter. It's not like it gives you a buff whilst in a Bosnian zone. Okay. I don't like how thick the blade is. It makes it look like a splitting axe. Okay. So, I mean, I actually quite like the glow effect on it, to be honest. It's quite a good glow. Still prefer Ragnarok. So now I can accept this, which means that I will be getting raw emotions again. But I can't accept the quest in order to get more time on artifacts because I don't have enough loathsome memories to get the Dark Knight weapon to that stage. So that's a little bit of an issue. It just means that I can't get time-worn artifacts, which means that I shouldn't run Delibrum. That's fine. It's fine. And I am working my way through getting the candies for more relics. Yeah. But it's okay. I kind of don't want to do too much more until I have unlocked Endwalker relics, because then the tombstones that I get from the Bosya grind can go toward Endwalker relics, and that will just be good. Yes. Yeah. I kind of need to sort out my inventory again. I am getting, as you can see, I have yet to rank up with either of these. But yeah, I'm getting close to 99 on a couple of things. I have not been doing any of my dailies. And I forgot to do my dailies the day that we unlocked the Allied Societies, which is why I'm a day out. Yeah. But what I have done, because my priorities are in order, it's not necessarily the right order, but they're in order. I go to my island sanctuary. I have made progress. You may notice that I am Sanctuary rank 6. That's one thing I've done. I have set my my workshop up for 2 weeks. It's mainly just making potions and fire sand, but today I branched out into some woodwork stuff. So yeah, we've got them. I also now have this area, which includes a granary, which I've just upgraded. And the granary is kind of like retainers, in that you can send them out to go and get resources for you. So yeah, I've upgraded those. I've also built... I don't think I had built either landmark. Well, I don't think it had finished building when we were on stream last time. But this is the bathhouse. Yeah. And then, whoop, I also need to interact with my workshops, to be honest. Because I have also upgraded these. So yeah, everything has been upgraded once, including the pasture and farmland. Cropland? Whatever the other area was called. So yeah, I now have 2 lots of farming spots. And you may notice that I have a few more monsters, wildlife stuff. And some of these are the rare ones that you can only get at certain times or certain weather conditions. Yeah. These give me stuff once a day. And the thing that we made first is this treehouse. I don't know why the treehouse has a furnace. It just does. It just does. But yeah, I've built everything that I can build. I am setting up my sweatshop to make stuff. And yeah, I just gotta keep going with it. That's all there really is to it. There isn't... I can't really buy anything, because in order to buy it, I need the same resources that you upgrade stuff with. So buying this shirt was problematic. I kind of wish I hadn't done it just yet. Yeah, so I can't do anything new at my current rank. I just gotta keep waiting. I can't upgrade this again, can I? No, but I can change its appearance. Okay. The granary guys aren't gonna be back yet, right? No, they don't finish until tomorrow morning. Okay. Ah. Stuff and things is happening. Stuff and things. Hello. She's watching me. Right. I think... Is it this one? No. Which one is it? Crystal from Beyond? What's that? That could... One of these will probably be the Alliance raid. I think the normal raid is in... Oh no, this is probably... This will be the normal raid. I think? I don't know, actually. Although he mentioned Pandemonium, didn't he? And I think Pandemonium and, like, Purgatory and stuff is the normal raid tier. Which I do want to do. Not just because I've done every normal raid tier, but also because the equipment from it looks fucking sick. Hey, Jammingway. Ah, yes. Take me into the Matrix. After. You are after, yes? Oh, thank you ever so much for coming. In truth, I've been searching all over for you. You see, there's a most pressing matter for which I would I could use your wisdom and expertise. So. Oh, but we haven't actually been introduced yet, have we? The name's Jammingway. I had the honour of serving as the communications officer aboard the Ragnarok. So, anyhow, to the matter I spoke of. It began the other day when my curiosity got the better of me and I decided to send a reconnaissance probe to Ultima Thule to investigate the environs. Imagine my surprise when my robotic friend responded just a short while ago with a most urgent and dire distress signal. A distress signal from Ultima Thule? Now, even after you and your companions mercifully put an end to the threat of the final days? Surely this intrigues and worries you as much as it does me. I was just about to venture there to investigate further, but there's no telling what dangers might await. And I am a communications officer, not an adventurer. Please, join me at Thalmazane's, so that we may boldly go where you have gone before. Where's Thalmazane? Is that in Ultima Thule? No, that is where the Ragnarok is. Okay. I really need to do some more Blue Mage stuff to make the Fate farming for the Bosnian Relic easier. Hey, Jammingway. Oh, Livingway's here too. After, I knew you'd come. Clearly, we have inquiring minds and a crushing need to be of use in common. Any road, I'm pleased to report that Ragnarok has already been prepared for our journey. A journey that, fortunately, will not require the massive quantities of ether we were necessary for our previous voyage beyond the stars. How can this be, you wonder? Hells if I know. Whether it's a parting gift from Mother, or perhaps the manifestation of Meteion's true desire, this vessel is strongly connected to Ultima Thule. So strongly, in fact, that it somehow simultaneously exists in both locations. Here in Labyrinthos and out at the edge of the universe. Is this making more sense to you now? No? Well, matters little. What matters is that we get you to the other side and see what's troubling my dearest probe. On that note, let us be off. Something else that I could unlock today is I could unlock Cosmic Exploration. The newest content that just got added in the last patch. But also the new field operation, like the new Bosnia, that releases in like 3 weeks. I didn't realize it was releasing that soon. I thought I had like a couple of months. Still. See? The Ragnarok exists here as surely as it did and does back in Labyrinthos. With the vessel forming a conduit of sorts, we may also easily teleport between the two locations. Convenient, wouldn't you say? Precisely because the locations are so indelibly connected to each other, however, I fear that whatever's triggered my probe's distress signal has the potential to threaten Labyrinthos as well, and so I would investigate without delay. Let's see now. It would seem the distress signal is coming from base Omicron, not far from here. Let us hope my automaton friend can enlighten us further as to our situation. Fuck me, I can't read. Oh, shit. Uh-oh. There we go. Ah, after. This is my precious reconnaissance automaton. And yet it would appear this good-for-nothing bucket of bolts has gotten its oily paws all over it. Pray, stand by for a moment while I give it a good talking to. You miserable sack of sockets! What in the heaven's name do you think you're doing with my oh so valuable automaton? Completing logic circuit. N7000 categorically denies accusations of this hirsute organism. An advanced life form such as N7000 has no need for such outdated technology. On the contrary, this unit took pity on this makeshift machine and the primitive society which created it, and deigned to issue a warning. Primitive? Outdated? I'll show you primitive and outdated, you... Wait, what is this warning you speak of? Initiating simplification. To explain in imprecise terms that your crude mind might comprehend, sometime after the organic life form known as After here came in contact with M017, the Omicrons noticed an irregularity. Specifically, a powerful burst of energy from the remnants of a lost world. No doubt a reaction to After and her companions defeating the Endsinger. Fortunately, the energy wave itself caused no appreciable damage. Less fortunately, it housed within it an encoded message from the strategic matrix known as Stigma 1. The message contained a single word, a single command: live. That seems innocent enough. Whatever's the problem? This message reached the sensors of Stigma 4, a logistics matrix that has long lain dormant. Shocked back to life at the behest of its fellow intelligence, it has resumed its duties in constructing weapons of mass destruction. Furthermore, there is a statistical probability of 99% that it will launch a full-scale assault on your eminently detectable home planet as soon as production is complete. Perhaps we can remove its power source. This unit projects that this would be less than ideal. Stigma 4's production capabilities are necessary to ensure that the Omicron's existence is maintained in perpetuity. Disabling or destroying it is incompatible with the command issued by Stigma 1. Is there no way we might simply change its mind? If Stigma 4 is convinced that war is essential to its survival, could we not persuade it that an unprovoked offensive might threaten its existence even more? The grubby organic lifeform's proposition has merit. As a military information and operations specialist, this unit does possess the capability to rewrite the memory banks of other artificial intelligences. If this unit were to hack Stigma 4's neural core and implant the memory that such an offensive once led not to a victory, but to failure and near eradication, it would logically conclude that preemptive attack is ill-advised. To accomplish this, this unit will access Stigma 4 and use a dimensional manipulator to generate a virtual environment stimulating its memories of war. You must traverse the environment and nullify Stigma 4's expectations of victory. That sounds simple and not at all likely to get us killed. What do you say? Can't be any tougher than an Omega, right? Right. Commencing Strategic Operations Protocol. All participants in the mission, please accompany this unit to the access point at once. You just loafing? You just a burnt little loaf? He's not interested. Okay. Fair enough. From this access point, it will be possible for this unit to establish a communications interface with Stigma 4's neural network. You may be interested to know that this is the first time this unit has been able to perform its intended function since the day it was commissioned. This unit is honoured, and will do its utmost to maximise the probability of success. Are you saying that you've never actually done this before? You really had me going with your advanced intelligence talk, but at least my probe had work experience. The flea-ridden life forms evaluation is inaccurate. This unit is equipped with dynamic functionality. It simply has not encountered technology formidable enough to require its full capabilities before. More significantly, this unit has succeeded in establishing the interface with Stigma 4. All that remains is for you to enter the simulation and use whatever puny weapons are at your disposal to destroy the core that lies within. You should see the Matrix sufficiently traumatized. This unit will remain in this physical space to ensure the communication interface remains stable as you carry out the operation. And do take care, though the environment is virtual, any pain you suffer within will feel quite real. Stigma Dreamscape. Okay. "21 minutes. Fuck that. Better. I do love that. Like, if I ever have to explain why it is that I play a healer predominantly, that. A level checker? I like the music. Oh god, the Lalafell's gonna be sounding loud as shit, isn't it? Also, this is the first time I've ever played what's its nuts? Sage at this level. I don't know what buttons do. Oh god. There's a big looking. Well, so long as no one needs healing, we're fine. Omega? Oh, Proto-Omega. Okay. I'm guessing it then fires the other side? No? I have done too much Delibird. I think I am seeing the complaint that healers aren't necessary. And this is with a paladin. I mean, fair enough, paladin's got clemency, but I don't think he's cast it. I could be wrong. I think that there is a way that you can insta-cast it. Oh yeah, isn't the way that I get back certain stuff by my shields being depleted? So I should actually be using shields as a shield healer. Even though clearly I've not needed to shield anyone. Archlander. Right. I should really be using the regen as well. I'm remembering how to sage whilst doing a dungeon. Ow. Oh, this is them fighting dragons. Whee! Oh, mechanical dragons? Yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. Now I remember what that does. I legitimately am, like, learning how to sage. Or remembering. Yeah, no, learning. At this level, learning. There's certain things that I probably should have just remembered. But, yeah, for the most part, this is me just learning. Snazzy looking. So does the bot not attack directly? Like at all? Everyone's standing inside it now, so I'm guessing it does the opposite as an attack. Yeah. It's great when other people know the fight. I don't have to think, I just follow the crowd. Hello, Omega. Oh yeah. That was a very cool looking dungeon. And it was nice seeing Omega come back. But that also felt quite easy. And like, fair enough, this is the content is you know, the eye level has gone up and everything since, but Operation status success. Sigma 4 has abandoned its military offensive. N7000 submits new orders to Stigma 4. Stigma 4 is instructed to immediately cease production of all weapons and attack units, and initiate production of diplomatic hologram units. Analysis of memory data complete. Further pursuit of planned invasion is calculated to have a 99.999992463% probability of resulting in utter annihilation. N7000 orders are deemed strategically and logistically sound. Reconfiguring production infrastructure. Take that, glowing eyeball. Oh, my dearest N7000. I apologize for all those times I called you a sack of bolts. Why, you're the most impressive military information and operations unit I've ever met. This unit expresses its gratitude to the hero after and the soft-looking organic life form. This unit could not have succeeded without your help. This also marks the completion of this unit's duties. With the invasion halted indefinitely, there remain no military operation or conflict requiring this unit's functions, preparing to shut down and enter permanent energy-saving hibernation. Shut down? What nonsense is this? Did you not receive an order to live just a short time ago? Eternal sleep doesn't sound like living to me. Come on, After. Say something and set this bolt head straight, won't you? Don't do it. To shut down would be inconsistent with the order Sir gave you. She's right. You were told to live, and live is what you'll do. If you don't have a war to wage anymore, you can use your talents to bring in a new future of peace and hope. But what are the appropriate protocols? This unit possesses little practical experience in peacetime operations. You can access Stigma 4, can you not? By interfacing with its memory banks, might you not be able to, say, find knowledge of lost civilizations? Civilizations that you might simulate for the edification of those who live now. Indeed, such a task would be within this unit's capabilities. But what about when this task is complete? Without an ongoing mission, sooner or later this unit is bound to lose its purpose. What happens then? Well, let's see now. I suppose you could always open a cafe? Wait, is this the barista at the edge of the universe? I've seen that title and I want it. Back in Old Charlian, there's a fine establishment called The Last Stand. People gather there to share food, drink, company, and reasons to meet again. After delivered her world from a brink of despair and helped people dream of a brighter future once more. What if we could do the same for the other civilizations Meteion found? This unit finds the furry lifeform suggestion difficult to process. And yet, realizing accurate simulations of myriad civilizations, including those the Omicron have not encountered, would undoubtedly challenge this unit to the fullest. It is a reason to remain active for the foreseeable future. Precisely, see? I knew I was onto something here. Speaking of here, do you know anywhere nearby they could use a good cafe? But ear? I doubt the dragons want a cafe. There's an empty structure that might be suited for it in the necropolis. Well, why didn't you say so sooner? Oh, yeah, no, the bar. That would work. You are just a burnt loaf that has no interest in me. She fucked me up earlier. Like, scared the shit out of me thinking that she'd somehow managed to get out the house. Because I couldn't find her. Like, she's been... The entire time I was working, almost, the entire time I was working, she was like sat on my lap, sleeping away. Purring, happy as anything. But then... she just disappeared, and I didn't see or hear from her for like an hour, and so I started to get a bit concerned because in that time I'd opened the door to outside, and like I hadn't seen her since having the door open. So I searched the entire house top to bottom 3 times, checking, you know, all of her usual hiding spaces that I've found that she's hidden in. She had discovered she can get behind the green screen. So she was holed up in the dark behind the green screen. And obviously she's black, she's a void, so I couldn't see her unless she had opened her eyes. And then she still didn't even want to come out of there. What are you even looking at? She's just a loaf staring into the corner. Oh. Oh. Come on then. Yeah. No, come on. You know you want to do it. Don't tease me with it. Okay. I'm just going to ignore you, and then it's up to you to do it when you're ready. Wow, would you look at that? A spacious counter, outdoor seating, and a fine layer of homey grey dust. Best of all is the view of that massive dead star Meteon was lurking in for ages, looming ominously overhead. People are gonna love this. Think about it, it's poetic. The very place where hope was nearly extinguished forevermore, now a beacon of it. This unit has still not fully processed the concept of a cafe, but will simulate elements of lost civilizations as its ongoing mission. That'll be just fine, N7000. You focus on what you do best, and leave the rest to me. I'll have you know I learned a thing or two about preparing and serving victuals and beverages in my time at the last stand. There we go. Hello. Not to mention that I've come up with the perfect moniker for our new establishment. The Last Dregs. There's a cat blocking the rest. An inspiring moniker, wouldn't you say? This unit is unable to process this statement. It must defer to the furry life form's judgment. She doesn't understand that the mic arm moves. I'll take that as a yes. Now, we'd best get to work. There are many preparations to be made before we're ready to open for business. You're more than welcome any time, though, after. Oh, please tell the other Laportes I'm not dead. She's now loafing right next to my mouse. Boop. Okay, so it's not a combat? It's not... Oh. Oh, it's a gatherer. So there's one combat, one crafting, one gathering. Okay. Are you a sleepy bean? Is that what's going on? Why does it seem like you're mad at me? I've gotten that look from many women in my life. You do not look impressed. Okay. Welcome, After, to the last dregs. At long last, we're open for business. And that's not all. This unit recommends you allow the squeaky life form to elaborate. Please be advised that this recommendation does not extend to other conversations. For one thing, we've cleaned the place up since your last visit. That counter's clean enough to eat off of. We've also recruited additional Omicrons to our cause. They've absolutely naught better to do and are thus stationed here at all hours. I fear their lack of customer service experience may prove an issue, so I think it best that our first patrons be similar to the people of Etheris. You lot have been awfully understanding of our slip-ups with the moon. To fulfill that objective, this unit has taken the liberty of ordering the replication of passably intelligent life forms based on data recovered from the dead ends. These life forms now exist as a tangible simulation, much like this unit itself, allowing them to enjoy cafe services. If you orient your ocular orbs to my right, you will find Patron 001 and Patron 002 of the Carolean people. Are they the fish people? Oh no, they're the Psyops from FF13. Prepare to die, traitor. I shall now obliterate your hideous helm and your belligerent brain with it. Ideological alignment with the global community is the only way to restore peace. That and the utter annihilation of our enemies. You would say that, mongrel. You've long since ceased to see beyond the leash around your neck. Or perhaps it's that tasteless headwear that's cutting off oxygen to your brain. You and your masters know naught of righteousness. The peace you offer is but apathy, self-determination subjected to the pull of the yoke. Pray that you at last know freedom in death. Hey, you guys want some coffee? As you can see, it's not going as well as we had hoped. The data indicates that while the Corellians prospered materially under the global community, the anti-establishment freedom fighters fought back against its oppressive social conditions, leading to total annihilation of both civilization and star. Excuse me, it seems like both of you want the same thing, to put an end to this conflict and live happily ever after? Also, to murder each other, but that didn't turn out so well for you the last time. How about you take a seat and talk this over? Is it really that easy? Is it Jesus. Okay, it is that easy. I want that armor. I suppose this will have to do for the time being. For, you see, I have something even more important to show you. With me. She loafing on the desk. Can you see it? Here, At the end of the universe, a new star has been born. What the fuck? Oh. Furthermore, readings confirm that this unidentified star is composed of dynamis. With the Endsinger gone, Ultima Thule should no longer be doomed to despair. Yet what kind of star, what civilization could have arisen out of the dynamis of this place? I shudder to think. That is precisely why this unit recommends eliminating potential threats immediately. The looming spectre of a hostile civilization is not conducive to carrying out our current orders to live. You learn nothing from the Corellians. We cannot simply go about annihilating everybody who looks at us askance. Besides, it would be a shame to waste any potential resources that star has to offer. It's not as if we're rolling in tea leaves out here. This unit finds the eminently killable life form's outlook to be intolerably naive. I'll show you eminently killable, you weird-looking fork. Anyway, I propose that, with your help, we first investigate this newborn star. There'll be plenty of time for annihilating later, should such measures be called for. If both eminently killable life forms insist, you may access the research portal from base Omicron. This unit will accompany you for your own safety. Okay. So... Oop, fuck. No. Yep. Beyond this portal, you'll find a research area constructed for the purposes of collecting data on the new star. You may proceed, with caution, to the star from there. Colour me impressed. By Stigma 4, that is. It's the one that made all of this. Now, look sharp, Forky. Okay, so this is the actual location. FTL travel initialized. Calibrating coordinates. Ultima Thule is governed by sentiment. Does that mean this huge thing came straight from someone's heart? Initializing scan of planet's surface and core. Environmental scans inconsistent with data from previously recorded planets. No signs of civilization detected. This unit can only assume the star is entirely new. Unlike anything seen before. Emergency alert from the last dregs. This unit will now transmit directly from Stigma 4. Emergency alert. Customers designated Patron 001 and Patron 002 resisting delivery of sustenance. Weapons have been drawn. Please advise. Resisting? What in the world did you serve them? As proposed by the flea-ridden manager, staff first attempted to provide patrons with locally rendered carrots. These were rejected as not food. Gordona oil and Omicron grease were also rejected, despite databases indicating that these substances fulfilled 95% of the criteria for designation as food. Words unsuitable for transmission also issued forth from patrons at this time. The torrent of verbal abuse activated the Gordona Guardian's moderation filters, causing it to set weapon system to purge. All remaining units have withdrawn behind available cover. Projections indicate a 99.9783% chance of failure should further arbitration be attempted by current staff. Management support requested. I sort of expected this. After all, artificial carrots just aren't right. Where's the fresh and juicy crunch? Where's the slight aftertaste of dirt? This may sound far-fetched, but perhaps they don't like carrots. Don't know why anyone would bother putting other things in their mouth when they are perfectly good carrots lying about. But very well. I suppose we'll need to concoct some sort of nutritious admixture. And now we know that the leporites are asexual. Data indicates that cultivation prospects in Ultima Thule are abysmal. To manufacture ingredients would require a dedicated production plant. Given the fate of our aforementioned carrots, that simply will not do. But what of this new star? Could it not be used to cultivate the fresh culinary ingredients we need? Ah, I can see it now. Our customers' contentment upon tasting the most delicious and nutritious cuisine they've ever had. The sight should delight me as much as 100 carrots of happiness, at least. Is it jamming way that's affecting the dynamis of this new star? Goodness me! Yeah, okay. I guess it must be. Scanning soil. Acidity, moisture content, and temperature within acceptable parameters. It's soft under my paws, as if it's simply begging for cultivation. Indeed, analysis indicates that 56.2% of cultivars registered to database during prior conflicts with organic civilizations would be suited to this environment. Did this star grant my wish? I suppose, given the nature of this place, it's not unreasonable to believe that residual energies from Meteon's nest could have coalesced into a new star, nor that said star would be as susceptible to emotion as the rest of Dynamis around here. This theory is excessively convenient, but the data does not contradict it. Your ability to insult me even when we're in agreement never ceases to amaze. Fortunately for you, I have better things to do than bicker with a bucket of bolts right now. Oh, magics of creation, feel the craving deep within my soul and grant me endless carrots. Nope. Denied. Perhaps gluttony does not qualify as an emotion. Bugger. Yet my hopes for the cafe do, apparently. Unlike my, however sincere, visions of carrots specifically, that intangible hope for a potential future took form as tillable earth, in which case perhaps the joy of as yet unrealized possibility is the key to success. Thus shall we call it Elysion, a joyful land where our hopes may come to rest. So is this going to be like the pixies where I'm gonna like build up this star like Don Meg. The mythology at work here remains alien to this unit, but the overexcited organism speculation has merit. Dynamis has been demonstrated to make the impossible possible. However, the data also shows that it lends itself as easily to ill as to good. If the beings of Ultima Thule succumb to despair once more, the consequences will be dire. This unit does not even need to run the calculations to be sure. Oh, boil my carrots! I forgot all about the customers. We must attend to them with all haste, lest they warp the nature of the star. Oh, and then... Ah, that's good. I like that. I like that there's a teleport. Please, if you just sit down for a nice calming cup of tea. As if I would fall for your ruse a second time. That food you served us made me long for the days of chewing a boot in the trenches. Deeply, though it pains me, I must agree. That was the least palatable vegetable I've ever eaten, wartime or no. If I die, my blood is on your hands. Heavens, we can't have that. We wish only to satisfy our customers, to bring them joy so that they may never again fall to despair. What dishes would bring you joy, if I might ask? Everything we typically eat, from beans to beef, is manufactured according to specifications I couldn't begin to guess at. But I would take anything even approaching normal at this point. Perhaps a salad to cleanse the palate of that horrid oil. As long as there are none of those genetically modified logs in it this time. I see. 2 salads with completely organic ingredients coming right up. How soon your paltry grey matter forgets. There is a dearth of produce in this corner of the universe. Even on the new star, seeds will require time to grow. Oh, but surely After can do something about that. Eh? You are a miner, are you not? Surely there must be some manner of edible flora around here, inconspicuous though it may be. I'm sorry, you're expecting me to mine up plants. Like, that makes sense if I was a botanist. It would make sense if I was a fisher. But a miner? Am I going to find potatoes? And I dare say local ingredients are something of a conversation starter, so that could be the next step toward our patrons resolving their differences. Wouldn't that be lovely? Hello. Meow. Yes. You need only relax and wait. We'll serve you a delicious dinner yet. Reluctantly reviewing Nature Resource Database. Promising nodes located. Liverworts growing upon stone formations in the Ryotara area show acceptable nutrition composition. Based on recent analysis of customer culinary preferences, you may wish to aim for a high wort to rock ratio. While you do that, we'll see if we can't scrounge up a few more ingredients from our stores. Though I still cannot imagine why one would prefer other foodstuffs to carrots. I must admit, I find this culinary experimentation rather invigorating. It might be that I get the Psyops armor from ranking up. With the Omicron. Is that right? It doesn't look like that's the case. Okay. How do I... Oh. You having an explore behind my computer then? Yep. You want up again? How does it go? Is it just that you want pets? Is that it? Okay. I have been hijacked for pets. I really should wear not black for future streams, huh? So you can actually have a chance of seeing. Oh, okay, yeah, you can sit. That's a good girl. There we go. Okay, now I have a cat on me. To be fair, this is how she spent quite a lot of today, didn't you? I see those claws coming out. That's why I have to wear the blanket. The return of allied lifeform Arthur is most welcome. This unit can only hope that the other organic lifeforms will now cease their whining. Quality and quantity of provided ingredients exceed expected parameters. Yours, maybe. I knew Arthur would go above and beyond. Now, to put these greens to the test. Why is it glowing? Needless to say, I fear for my life, but now that you've gone to so much trouble, I suppose we should try it. That sounded like crunching through like a pepper or some lettuce. An astoundingly robust spectrum of flavor and texture. I was unaware food could possess such pleasant complexity. Mass-produced dishes pale in comparison. Watch your tongue. The global community solved world hunger through automation, you know. You lot would have scurvy thrice over without it. Still, I must admit that the flavour is unique. Though we replicated a wide variety of cultivars in our factories, just as many were consigned to history. I see now what a loss that was. There is an appeal to having the freedom to choose what you eat, is there not? Though I recognise the validity of your world hunger argument. Perhaps there is room for both perspectives at this table, As this peculiar waiter observed, our haste to elevate one at the expense of the others has not served us well in the past. Odd words to hear from a freedom fighter, but not wrong. That's the spirit. I'm certain you two have plenty in common, if you're willing to hear each other out. In the meantime, why not help us with the gardening? Release some of that pent-up energy that has you shouting at each other all the time. Think about it. It's honest, non-violent work, and the more you grow, the more new flavors you can experience. We have a patch of land on a new star that has your names on it. Well, your patron designations anyway. What do you say? I can't claim that I'd be happier on the battlefield. I fought in the name of peace until there was naught left to fight. Or to fight for. There has to be that's a claw digging into my wrist. Nix, please let go. Yeah. There has to be a better way. Maybe in safeguarding life, rather than taking it. I'll find out what that is. I hesitate to align my ethos with that of a global citizen. Yet it is true that we now have the freedom to choose a better future. Very well. I shall put down my arms and travel a different path this time around. And it's a truce. Let's plant those vegetables. Ooh, I smell hope. It smells like carrots of happiness, if you were wondering. Perhaps Elysian can smell it too. Inconclusive and 80% nonsensical. However, possibilities resulting from this unlikely alliance approach the infinite. I suppose that means we'll have to go and see for ourselves. Come along, patrons! Oh. Okay, that's... That was both cute and painful. She literally got her paw around my index finger and gripped it like a baby, but with claws. Despite the small yet statistically significant chance of their being greeted by hostiles, the naive lifeform has sent Patron 001 and Patron 002 ahead to Elysian. This unit suggests we make haste in confirming what effects, if any, their emotions have wrought on the star. Oh. That's new. There's more of them. Oh. Hello. Hi. Hello. Okay. Hello. You're headbutting the microphone. Okay. Ow. The Corellians' heartfelt hopes for a peaceful future have taken form as resplendent gardens. Nevertheless, much of the newborn star remains as unto a blank canvas. What other hopes will the power of Dynamis bring to life? Dynamis-based alterations to the local environment exceed all but the most improbable of projections. Data from prior civilizations indicates that organic customers will be pleased with the vegetation available for consumption. This unit proposes a temporary retreat to A4 research to discuss future salads and salad-adjacent matters. So yes, it is going to be just like the Pixies. All management units are present. This unit will now run multiple cognitive simulations of the last Dreg's future. Analysis complete. Simulations suggest that further consultation with reconstructed lifeforms and changes to the nature of Elysion will both be beneficial in increasing future customer satisfaction. Overall friendly interaction appears key to the success of Last Dreg's objectives, which are vital to the ongoing mission to live. In other words, if we continue to value our patrons, our cafe will become an ever greater source of joy. This unit would not make such a fanciful projection, but nevertheless agrees with the general trajectory proposed. The ongoing assistance of allied lifeform after will also be invaluable. Will you continue to act as a management unit? I swore I'd never go back to retail. I feel that. I feel that. This unit is asking you nicely. Also, it is technically food service. I would call it hospitality, but yes. Ooh. I don't even know how you managed that one, girl. Ow. Pretty please after? I know that with your help, a wonderful future awaits. I think she managed to, like, grab one of my knuckle hairs and get it caught in her claw. I don't know, it hurt. In preparation for the next phase of operations, this unit proposes strategically repositioning Matrix Stigma 4 to this location, that it may better assist in coordinating planetary and cafe objectives. Transmission of orders will commence at your signal. Oh, hello. Retro thrusters on cooldown, initiating matrix installation. Speaking of which, we have one more installation to attend to. Hold still, N7000. 0,000. I'm sorry, girl. Perfect. Now I can tell which Omicron the insults will be coming from. It also signifies your role in this operation quite well, does it not? Crude, yet effective. This unit will consent to wearing the large-eared lifeform's primitive accessory. Now, my loyal crew, to work. Possibilities are infinite, so there's much to be done. I love the fact that they've given him bunny ears. I love that. Oh god, that's an itch that's not going away. You have achieved friendly reputation with the staff and patrons of the Last Dregs. Cool. That'll take you. Okay, yeah. It's just the gathering gear. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Cool. Well, that's another lot of dailies for me to do. That's fine. So I need to now head to Razet Han to do another lot of role quests. By the time that we've finished the role quests, it'll probably be time to end the stream. But tomorrow, I will be doing Delibram Regine Savage. Tanking. For the first time. Well, no, just Delibram Regine Savage for the first time. But I will also be tanking. You having fun? Licking your own arsehole whilst sat on my lap? Okay, so we have done melee, tank. Let's do healer, I guess. Which would be, yeah, because that would be the Ul'dan and Alamegan. Then we can do Ishgardian. Which one's Ishgardian? That's caster. Okay. You're ready to lend us your aid. I'll apprise you of the situation. We've received reports of a creature believed to be a blasphemy stalking the streets of Alamigo. Our troops have been assigned to track and slay the beast, but there are likely to be casualties. With most of our healers posted elsewhere, we had thought to petition you for your aid. Sounds like you need better soldiers, not more healers, but if I must. Well, no man or woman alive could hold a candle to the warrior light, but in any case, we're stretched rather thin at present. Given that we know precious little of our foe, we'd sooner turn to the best of the best now than wait until the need's undeniable. No doubt my Ul'dan comrades will be heartened to have you fighting alongside him as well. You see, as there have been no sightings of any blasphemies in our lands, we've joined our Alamegan allies in their hunt for the fiend. Trouble is, the majority of our own healers are working day and night to treat the tempered Imperials captured at Pagalfan. For that reason, we too will be glad of your help. Your presence alone will be of great comfort to the troops, I'm sure. As time is of the essence, I ask that you make your way to the Alamegan quarter and report for duty. Commander Alden's overseeing the hunt, and he'll explain all upon your arrival. May Ralga grant you strength. So I probably should have done the... If I'm doing it by expansion, I probably should have done the Ishgardian, which would have been casting DPS. But... fuck it. Given how much you've shed on me, just from me giving you some strokes, I should really get a brush. Huh. I've only had her a week, and I'm still getting things. Ah, Mistress Bunn, we were told you were on your way, but this is even quicker than expected. I'll tell Commander Alden you've arrived. One moment. Glad you could join us. Now that the far greater crisis has been resolved, we may and must turn our undivided attention to matters of a smaller, but no less deadly scale. Aye, I'd like nothing more than to hear about your recent adventures, but I'm afraid such pleasantries will have to wait. Jesus. That's Titan. That's the Titan rig. As our man in Thavner will have told you, a blasphemy's loose in Alamigo. When it first appeared, the city guard were able to get most of the bystanders to safety, and for a mercy, those caught in the chaos only suffered minor injuries. But the fiend managed to escape and has not been seen since. We must find it, and soon. For as long as it remains at large, every man, woman and child is at risk. As was the case in Thavner, the blasphemy's very existence seems to spur the creation of lesser beasts. The longer it's allowed to roam free, the more tragedy our people will suffer. Did anyone see the change take place? There you go, have your hair back. Aye, there were several eyewitnesses who gave the same account. A man walking through the Alamegan quarter fell to his knees all of a sudden, and a moment later transformed into the monstrosity we now pursue. But beyond the fact that he was a young Highlander, we know next to nothing about him. Even the descriptions of his appearance are too vague to help identify the lad. We've no clue as to his name or background. For all we know, he might not have been born in Alamigo. Might have been the son of refugees come to visit. There are other possibilities we are investigating, though. That said, I doubt his circumstances are unique. Blasphemies and beasts are born when men are overcome by despair. Whatever drove him to turn likely could have done the same to another. Therefore, if we are to prevent further tragedies, it's imperative that we identify and address the underlying cause. Until we do, we'll have no choice but to deal with the afflicted the only way we know how, by granting them a quick death. For now, I would have you join the hunt and keep my men from falling prey to these creatures. Are you up to it? You have my thanks. And as chance should have it, we've just received word a number of beasts were spotted on the outskirts of Alagana. The troops stationed there have already put them down, but were wounded in the process. First and foremost, they need medical attention, and that's where you come in. I'll meet you there. So, there is cat hair all. I have hoovered today, and yet I feel like my face is covered in cat hair now. I do also have the fan on, which is probably just pushing cat hair around. Yeah, I'll order a brush after the stream. Although the soldiers were able to lead the beasts away from the village and cull a lot of them, victory didn't come easy. It seems like it's times like these that our lack of healers is most surely felt. I dare say they've yet to receive any treatment at all. Seize their wounds while I survey the area for any stragglers that may have escaped. Oh no, the issue cat hair, but infinite snuggles. Yeah. I do, like, I do love having her. I love having a cat. Literally the only issue that I actively need to do something about is her claws. I need to get some claw clippers or whatever the fuck. Because she really likes pawing at me for snuggles and like pawing at my arm and stuff, which is really, really cute. It's also really, really painful because she uses claws. Like, the hair is only an issue right now. Like, literally this second. Yeah. The issue with trying to cut her nails is I'm not sure she's gonna like it. Whereas I think she'll probably like being brushed. Because she very much so likes being stroked. But she's still a scaredy cat. Literally. And will run away from me as soon as I stand up. So. But yeah. I should order some cat claw clippers. Okay. I see. They're just tiny scissors. Oh yeah. Add to basket. Cat brush. I don't need it to have a built-in steaming function. The fuck? Why are there so many that steam? Why? Don't steam your pets! That seems like a bad thing. Yeah, those things come with steamers now, which technically does help. Seems wrong. It just seems wrong. I mean, whilst I'm buying stuff for the cat, let's get her high and buy some catnip. Because, you know. Extra strong catnip? No, let's go normal strength first, shall we? No, okay, no, it's all extra strong. It's all extra strong. Why is it all extra strong? How fucked up are people trying to get their cats? Yeah, damn. Give her the good stuff once, never again. It helps with releasing hair. Fair enough. Okay, yeah, we'll get some claw clippers, some a brush, and some catnip, because maybe when she's high, she'll let me clip her nails. Give her the good stuff once, never again. She'll go her whole life chasing that one first high just to be disappointed all the time. Well, here's the thing. I've got some catnip flavored dreamy treats downstairs because I wasn't sure what flavor she would like the best. So I got one of the variety packs that was like catnip, chicken, and cheese. And I've not tried the cheese ones with her yet, but she did manage to get up onto the table that I didn't realize she could get up onto, steal the pouch of catnip dreamies, and chew through the pouch in order to get to the dreamies. So they are now in a Tupperware, so that she can't do that again, and she hasn't tried to do the same thing with the other flavors. So I think she might like the catnip ones. Anyway. She's being quite lovely right now. I wonder why. True. Yeah. Turns out my cat is a druggie. I'm sorry. Hey, here are 3 snacks. Cheese, chicken, and weed. Which one do you want? One of them gets you high, and the other one's weed. That's the thing with humans. Like, half will go for the cheese, and half will go for the one that gets you high. Because cheese has that effect on us as well. Cheese produces opiates in our brain. Anyway. Once I've completed my patrol, I'll head to the village to gather eyewitness reports. Look for me thereafter. Ooh. Actually doing the unique heal for Sage. Gods be good, I feel reborn. Hold on. You're after, aren't you? I can't believe it. You're the one who inspired me to join the Resistance in the first place. And now you've come to save me in my hour of need? I'll never forget this. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I like that it's actually doing the healing animation, rather than just the... I saw them change. Right before my eyes. Those weren't monsters I killed, but innocent men. But it had to be done. There were others we had to protect. Thanks to you, I can continue to do just that. Once I've made my way back, I'll give a full account. The families, they'll understand. For treating the wounds of those soldiers, you have my thanks. And theirs too, no doubt. It seems they were indeed successful in slaying all the beasts, if my search is any indication. But we must remain vigilant. I've also spoken with several people who witnessed the moment of the transformation, though the ordeal has understandably left them rather shaken. Hey, you've been through a fair few ordeals yourself. As for me, I've been keeping busy with this and that, like getting the hang of this wheelchair. Obviously, it has its limitation, but it gets me where I need to go. I've been working with this new organisation as well, which is what brought me here. But no sooner had I arrived than those locals turned. Ragnfrid. Or Ragnfrid. I heard you were there when it happened. What can you tell us? The one who underwent the change are the very people we were trying to help. Perhaps I should explain from the beginning. The meeting Lys held in the royal palace marked a turning point for all of Girabania. It spurred us to open a dialogue with peoples and communities we otherwise would have shunned. Sorry, I was trying to adjust without waking the beast, but I have woken the beast. Hello, Beastie. Oh, and now I've spooked her. Yeah, okay. Bye, Beastie. The meeting Lys held in the Royal Palace marked a turning point for all of Giribania. It spurred us to open a dialogue with peoples and communities we otherwise would have shunned. There's still so many problems to be addressed, and countless souls struggling to build new lives for themselves. I decided to form a volunteer group, the Silver Griffins. Our main concern is the welfare of Alamegans who sided with the Empire, for whatever reason, and help them find their place in society. In particular, the surviving families of the Crania Lupi, or Lupi. I thought you despised the skulls. Make no mistake, I'm not forgiving them. I don't have that in me, and I doubt I ever will. But the memory of that day in the palace, of Fordola asking to be locked up again after saving us all, it stayed with me. Got me to thinking about why she and the other youths would commit such atrocities. Why they'd swear to serve the Empire. And the answer was simple. Because they'd seen what we'd seen and suffered much the same. In a hell where all were condemned, they chose to betray one brother to save another. That's how the Garleans win. Not by breaking you, but by making you break yourself. By making that choice the right one for a man at the end of his tether. Healing only begins with liberation, and some scars never will regardless. Those who've returned from foreign lands may have difficulty carving out a living here, but the ones who pledged allegiance to Garlemald. This is not the Alamigo we dreamed of, but after 20 years of misery, I'll not see it all thrown away because we can't come to terms with the past. That's why I formed the Silver Griffins, to see that no one is cast aside. It's a cause I support, and it's what brought me here today. I've been acting as a mediator. Aye, and in the short time he's been with us, he's proven himself a natural. But despite our early successes, the families of the Skulls continue to refuse our help. I think I see where this is leading. They're the ones who turned, yes? Comes as no surprise. Their kin tormented and murdered fellow Alamegans. Anyone with a conscience would feel shame and guilt. For some, it might be too much to bear. Huh. I think I might know why they're turning us away. It's a sensitive matter though, so let's go somewhere we won't be overheard. About one of the men who turned. I saw his memories. With the echo. I'll not pretend I understand it, but tell us what you learned. I only caught a glimpse, but that was enough. It was during the occupation. A man raising his son. Only the two of them. But they were a family. To keep his boy clothed and fed, he chose to side with the Empire. He knew what others would say, but he did it anyway. So he was branded a traitor. Every day his son listened to the jeering, the insults. There was nothing he could do. When he came of age, he joined the Skulls in the hopes it would make life easier for his father. He never dared to question his orders, no matter how depraved. He died in the revolution, but not before killing his own countrymen. His father wept not for the betrayer and murderer, but for the man he could have been. He blamed it all on himself, right up until the change took him. Can only pray he and his boy finally found the peace they were denied in life. Alas, theirs is an all too familiar tale. They cannot forgive themselves, nor can they see how anyone else could. Sins of their kin weigh heavy on them. They think themselves undeserving of our compassion. If they carry on like that, they'll turn into beasts. Oh, shit. Wrong person. If they carry on like that, they'll turn into beasts. We've got to help them before it's too late. Growing up half Garlean in Alamigo, I know how it feels to be shunned and hated. To hate myself. But so long as we give ourselves and others a chance, we can change for the better. And while I might not be as clever or eloquent as someone like Alphino, I know I can make a difference. I might not be quite the swordsman I used to be, but I'm still a fighter at heart. And I owe it to Ayaba and Oli to make the most of this life so long as I've got it. We Silver Griffins will give our all to see that no more beasts or blasphemies ravage Girabania again. So, Commander Alden, do we have your approval to continue our work? Of course. There's no enemy more formidable than despair, and I'd be a fool to refuse your help. That even a single one of our people has succumbed to this transformation is proof of our failure to protect them. Therefore, I pledge the Silver Griffins my unconditional support. Together, we will prevail. Now that we have After on hand to aid the troops, I believe we're ready to face any beast we encounter. Though I fear it's only a matter of time before others appear. I ask you lend the Silver Griffins your assistance in the meantime. Very good. For now, let's return to the city. Those who harbour guilt do so not because they are weak of heart, but because they have failed to meet the demands they make of themselves. It was the same for me when I believed my failures had led to the Sultana's assassination. Despair and self-loathing were indescribable. I was fortunate that you and the other Scions came to my rescue, that I had friends who convinced me I was more than the sum of my worst mistakes. Now, we must do the same for the people of Alamigo. We must help them to heal and find the strength to, if not forgive, then come to terms with who we were. So that we can look forward to who we can be, who we should aspire to be. This is precisely why the work of the Silver Griffins is so vital. Though our problems are not new, the emergence of this deadly phenomenon means we cannot afford to delay addressing them any further. We'll be better for it, ultimately. Once we've decided a course of action, you'll be the first to know. Until then, may Rauga watch over and keep you. We were hoping you'd stop by. I'll show you to Commander Alden at once. You're a welcome sight as always, After. Aye. Lots happened since last we spoke. We Silver Griffins have been keeping busy. As have I and my men, but I'm afraid we've little to show for our efforts. Although we've been searching high and low for the blasphemy, we've seen neither hide nor hair of it. Unfortunately, everyone else has had better luck. We've received reports of lesser beasts throughout Girabania, and putting them down is as important as hunting the blasphemy that got away. To complicate matters, rumours have been circulating that these beasts were the Skull's kin. While this was true of the recent incidents in Allegiana, we cannot have people jumping to conclusions, given what they might feel tempted to do. It's been suggested that we take these individuals into custody for their own protection as much as the safety of others. That would only isolate them even further and give credence to the rumours. Recent unrest has hindered the efforts of the Silver Griffins to no end. Therefore, I ask that you aid them in their endeavours, and see if there's aught that can be done. Also, you'll be joined by another volunteer. Try not to be too surprised. I thought I felt my ears burning. Hey Fordola, how you doing? I said I don't need a keeper, but did they bloody listen? Did they bollocks? Come on, don't be like that. This is what you agreed to. Besides, you never know when you might have need of a healer. There's none better than after. He's right. You've earned a measure of trust, and this shouldn't be taken to mean otherwise. Thick as thieves, are we now? And there's no need for this sodden collar, eh? Huh. We all know it's not coming off anytime soon. But if this is how it's to be, then fine. As long as she keeps out of my way. I want the two of you to visit the Silver Griffin's headquarters in Allegiana. Several relatives of the Crania Lupi have agreed to meet with them, and we could do with a measure of precaution. If anyone so much as mentions the skulls, I'll deal with it. Understood? Let's get this over with. She seems cheery. She is as much at risk of turning as anyone, maybe even more so. You don't need the Echo to see the weight she's carrying. She's still not got a handle on her own Echo either. Sometimes the visions come without warning and with such force that it's all she can do to stay standing. There's no telling what might happen when she comes face to face with the family of her former comrades. So, look out for her, please. Wish there was more I could do for her myself. But we've all got our own duties, and I'll see them through to the end. So must we all. Follow Fordola's lead, and count on you both. Be ready to step in, even if she curses you for it. Oh, I understand. You're confused by the fan. Because it's hitting your whiskers and you don't understand where it's coming from. That's why you're so interested with that corner. Okay, this is slightly mean, but I'm going to turn it so that it hits her. Okay, she didn't freak out, so at least there's that. She's very interested by the fan now. Had a feeling Rauban would send you. But as for her, if you've got any complaints, take it up with the commander. No, it's fine. Truth be told, ever since that day at the Royal Palace, I've been thinking. Stop. I don't want to say it, and I don't want to hear it. The matter at hand, then. We Silver Griffins have been working to support the relatives of the Crania Lupi, but one family's gone missing. A mother and her parents, who lived together under the same roof. One of ours paid them a visit, but they were nowhere to be seen. When they went inside to check, they found the house had been torn to shreds. thick gouges in the floor and the walls, made by a beast's claw by the looks of it. You think that they've turned? Aye, that's the most likely explanation. Please, do what you must before anyone else is hurt. There's no time to waste. I'll head west, you east. Hello! That's the wrong... You know what would be helpful? Yeah. Yeah, that was my knee that just clicked. Sorry, girl. She got spooked. Oh, a letter. In the dirt, you spy an envelope containing a crumpled, tear-stained letter. Oh no. Dear Mother, I hope this letter finds you well. Time is short, so I must keep this brief. Although I've never done anything to make you proud, I promise you things will be different when the war's over. Until then, take care and know that I love you with all my heart. Placing the letter back into its envelope, you turn your attention to finding the others. Yeah, indeed. Yeah. It's nice that... Nothing happened. It's nice that you're being vocal, because it means that you're settling in, but I don't know what you're asking for. Uh-huh. What is it? Okay, I think it's strokes. Who would have thought? Oh. Oh god. There's a cat blocking half the screen again. Yeah, hi. Hello. Oh no, a wedding ring. Oh. You discover what appears to be a wedding ring, with a name and date engraved on the inside. With seemingly no more clues to be found, you decide to report to Ragnfrid. Oh yeah. Rubbing up against the stream deck now. Careful, if you press those buttons, it could end the stream. Were you able to find anything? Couple of things. Then it is as we feared. I found and killed a third. I was carrying this. A matching ring. I'll deliver these effects to the next of kin and arrange for a funeral, or as close to one as possible under these circumstances. There's no changing the past. We'll always carry it. And the scars. No matter who we were or what we did, we're Alamegans, then and now. The Empire was our enemy then, and now it's despair. You're making biscuits on my lap. Good words and deeds will serve us best in this fight. Weapons even an old man like me can yet wield. You okay? Okay, now you're making biscuits on my dick. Yeah? Okay. That nice and soft? Jesus Christ. Cats always find, like, the best weak point for where to put their entire body weight. So as to wind you. Thanks to the two of you, the missing villagers may finally be laid to rest. I and the other Silver Griffins will redouble our efforts to prevent any further tragedies. I finished checking the wares, sir. Everything's in order. Good work. Take a rest, lad. You more than earned it. Keep this to yourself, but Everat's younger brother was a member of the Crania Lupi. He's exactly the sort of person we're trying to help. Like many of the others, he was reluctant to talk to us at first. But after we gained his trust, we were able to help him find work. He's taken to it well. Uh-oh. It's her. The butcher. Traitors. All of us. Kinslayers deserving of hate and death. Hate and death. Oh no. Oh no. Fordola? Careful there. Get back. Get back. Uh-oh. Stay away from her! Fordola saved your girl's life. I know, but she's... It happened in an instant. Poor lad. But it had to be done. And that was a claw right in my belly button. Let me just... Yeah. There you go. Now you can see her a little bit better with that, can't you? Even if I do have to wear it all the way up to my tits. Yeah, there's... I don't think that even turned up on camera, but she was pouring at my hand. Hello. No? Okay, now you're making biscuits on my stomach. Again, with claws. Yeah, that's why I need this. That had to be done. Without hesitation. Would have been much worse otherwise. Could you go after Fordola and see to her wounds? I'll do what I can here. There she is. I'm fine. Leave me be. I said I don't need your help. I'm a healer. Let me do my fucking job. God, you're like a dog with a bone. Go on then. Make it quick. Curl can't change its spots. There's no washing the blood off my hands. Nor would I, even if I could. Taking up Garlean steel was the first choice, but not the last. Like the first kill, the hardest. Every choice after that came easier and easier, till I stopped counting. Stopped caring. You tell yourself it's right. It's for the greater good. You give the order. Feel the ground tremble as the cannon fires. When the dust settles and your own men are buried beneath the rubble, and you tell yourself. You tell yourself. Me too. I won't let it take you. That man in the village. I saw his past. I'm the one who killed his brother. I'll be alright. I just need a moment. Can you wait with me? Everything the Skulls fought for, the sacrifices we made, the things we did, in the end, it was all for nothing. Sometimes I look back on the road I walked, bitterness I can still taste, and I wonder, if I'd grown up in another time, another place, would I have done the same to a different people? Was it always in me to be me? All I know is, everyone would have been better off if I'd never been born. But I was. I dragged others into a hell of my own making. I remember those two brothers in particular, childhood friends of mine. The older one enlisted with me, The younger... he would never have made it as a soldier. He was too kind. Too good. Ansfrid died at Specula Imperatoris, but his brother's still out there somewhere. Not that I've got the courage to face him after what I did. I hope he's found the life he deserved. I know a young man who survived the fall of Specula Imperatoris. Ooh, did you get his name? I'm glad he made it out, but too many others didn't. Too many others still need our help. I helped make this blasphemy, and by Rauger I'll kill the bastard if it's the last thing I do. Anyway, that's enough out of me. I'll be heading back to the city to make my report. I suggest you do likewise. I am feeling something other than Mama. Oh yeah, I got this from the market board. You know what he'll do? He's both cute and ugly. I love him. He is my son now. Welcome back. Fodola's already given her account, and I'd like to hear yours too. So she almost turned into a beast herself. We'll have to take that into consideration before sending her into the field again. As far as the events in Alagana are concerned, the two of you did well. Despite the appearance of several beasts, you were able to prevent any further casualties. However, this serves to confirm that those with connections to the Crania Lupi should be considered at risk of turning. Over the years, many of them have drifted away from the larger settlements and have taken to living in secret. Others made their way to Uldar as refugees, including some individuals of interest. As such, we'll be working closely with the Immortal Flames to locate and offer support to those refugees in particular. In fact, I plan to make the journey there for an audience with the Sultana. Once my preparations are complete, perhaps you might accompany me? I'm sure she'll be glad to see you. Here to see Commander Alden, I take it? This way, please. Our request for an audience with the Sultan has been accepted. Before we depart, I'll share what we've learned since last we spoke. The blasphemy continues to elude us, all the while driving others to succumb to despair and turn. Even with Alamegan and Uldan forces searching for signs of the beast and more potential victims, we've yet to discern a pattern in the chaos. Nevertheless, if our blasphemy is like the others, its behaviour is likely dictated by the passions and regrets of the man it once was. Therefore, any information concerning him and the life he led may help us to track it down before it strikes again. We don't want people to shun the families of the skulls any more than they already are, but the fact remains the vast majority of the beasts have been born from them. They're the ones at greatest risk of turning, without question. Fodola concerns me too. Okay. She came close to transforming once before, so I think it might be best if we keep her out of this after all. She deserves a chance to make amends. I'm inclined to agree with After. She is able to resist the transformation and has shown no sign of succumbing since then. If she wants to do us part, I say we let her. Why are you just... She's just staring very intently at a Pepsi Max can. I don't know why. If only I could go in her stead. Actually, I was hoping you'd come with us to meet the Sultana. I believe she'd benefit greatly from your understanding of the struggles our people face. You'd gain from the experience too. While she's not the sort to brandish a sword and charge into battle, you'll soon discover she's a champion of her own arena, as brave as any warrior. I doubt she'd have much to learn from the likes of me, but it'd be an honor to make her acquaintance. Ironvald and I'll go on ahead and wait for you in Husting Strip. We'll see you anon. Alrighty. How are you? Husting Strip. First, let me do this. Oh, never mind. 3 minutes off. What the hell did you just do? I just saw you do something. Do it again. Do it again. Do the roar. Do the roar. Do your unique animation. Go on. Stupid. Oh. Okay, it's literally just that he roars. I thought maybe he stuck his tongue out or something, but nope. Oh, that's still the one to get the Fanta. Yeah, I've got no rush to do that. That one's always there. It's the Fanta from the one next to Ymitra. That was time locked. Master Papashan's just telling us that Nanimo, or should I say Lady Lyra, has gone on another of her jaunts about the city. Though it's not my place to question her Grace's judgment, I do wish she'd consulted me before running off on her own. Perhaps I'm overthinking it, but it's unlike her to keep guests waiting. If I may say so, sir, with blasphemies appearing throughout the land, it's a dangerous time to be going for a stroll. I suspect that may be the very reason. She wishes to see for herself how the citizenry fare in these trying times. Even so, it's downright reckless. We'll find her, though. No, I couldn't possibly allow such esteemed guests to... Come now. We might be here on official business, but we're old friends. And as you may remember, I've a knack for tracking down errant sultanas. Some might say that knack is a rather charitable... I should be glad of the assistance. I'll take a look around here. Quizzing the locals might give me an opportunity to learn of recent goings-on in Uldar, too. Well then, it's no time like the present. Fear not. With me on the case, this will be over before you know it. Okay. Nyx has made it a little bit more difficult to actually move my mouse as she is loafing on the wire. It's a wireless mouse, but it's charging. And if I want to make it wireless, I would have to plug the charger back into the like wireless adaptery thing, which she is also blocking. True cat experience. It's been some time since I last combed these streets for young Lilira. As a matter of fact, Papashan and I would compete to see which one of us could find her first. As I recall, most of the contests ended in my favour. The trick, you see, is to look past the disguise and pay attention to the gestures and mannerisms. The tiniest movement that might give her away. Come, I'll show you how it's done. Please tell me... Oh, okay. I was going to say, please tell me that we go into one of those first-person segments. She's fond of perusing the stalls here. Is she now? She's not here, where could she be? What if she's been abducted? In one of these pots? Perhaps not. Never known her to be this elusive. Clearly, you didn't have to look for her very hard, did you? Huh, that's odd. I've tried all her usual haunts, so unless she's hiding inside a barrel or something equally nonsensical, she must be elsewhere. Gods, why'd she choose now of all times to run off? What if she's been abducted or run afoul of a beast? Perhaps we could try asking around. Aye, I was about to suggest the same. We'll find her a lot quicker if we start by narrowing down who we're going to ask. Come to think of it, something Papa Shan said caught my ear. He thought Nanamo went on this excursion because of the emergence of the blasphemy and the beasts, to better understand how her people are coping with the situation. If so, she'd be driven to seek out the most desperate and destitute. Pearl Lane, then. Might I ask you to lead the way? I'll admit my ability to track missing persons may have dulled somewhat. Pearl Lane has ever been plagued by pickpockets and the like. I'll watch your back, so go ahead and give the search for Lilira your full attention. She moved, so I'm now back to wireless. Okay. Probably best to go down here. While it may not be immediately obvious, conditions here have improved considerably of late. Her Grace continues to support the rebuilding efforts in Garabania, which has led to the creation of jobs for many of the locals, both here and on the other side of Baelsar's wall. In every society there are the haves and the have-nots, and seldom is this divide more sorely felt than here in Uldar. Many of the young and able-bodied work for Lolorito as guards, though he earns more in an afternoon than most will in a lifetime. Hey, Nanamo. I see you. Lady Lilira. Ralban, whatever are you doing here? And after, too! While I am glad to see you both, our meeting is not yet due to commence for several bells. What is the meaning of this? We were worried, and with good reason. There are far too dangerous times to be roaming about alone, Your Grace. Some things never change, but I assure you I am quite capable of looking after myself in my own city of all places. More importantly, I wish to observe firsthand how the people have been faring of late, and I might be better prepared to participate in our discussion later. But I have finished. You'll be comforted to hear. Then pray, allow us to escort you to the more amenable surroundings. Would you care to ride on my shoulder? Certainly not. You've already attracted more than enough attention. Cute. Hold on. The best place to go from is actually here. Oh. Oh, that's a big yawn. I am a sleepity bitch. Ah, she's all dressed up as Nanamo again. I thank you all for making the journey here during these difficult times. And it is my pleasure to properly make your acquaintance. On behalf of the people of Eorzea, allow me to express my sincerest gratitude for your continued dedication to our cause. With respect, Your Grace, I'm just a soldier. Was a soldier. Still, I say, Commander Alden would not make such a distinction, and neither will I. You yet serve your people, and have provided solace to many of Alamigo's most vulnerable. If we are to deal with this threat, we must forearm ourselves with knowledge. I understand you come bearing information regarding the blasphemy and its victims? We have indeed. Would this not be a conversation better had inside? Away from the multiple prying ears that we know exist in Uldar. Hence the need to locate families of Crania Lupi members who have fled to Thanalan. There is no end to the struggles faced by Alamigan refugees, and those who once pledged allegiance to the Empire are no exception. But rest assured that irrespective of their past, all will be treated with an even hand. All will be afforded such aid as I am able to provide. Magnanimous as always, Your Grace. If I might be so bold, I have a question. What do you have in mind for those most at risk of undergoing the change? EP Tingles is going to go sleeves. Good sleeves, EP Tingles. I will be finishing up after we're done with this lot of role quests. I've done it the opposite order to what I've done the last couple of streams. And we're doing the role quests last. I believe there is but one recourse. Earnest and open dialogue. While some are born into unimaginable wealth, others suffer great hardship and oppression. The circumstances of our birth are beyond our control. Our fates subject to the whims of the gods, some would argue. I once thought myself a prisoner to my fate, a figurehead, helpless to watch on as my people starved. A powerless puppet. I wanted nothing more than to cast it all aside, to free us all, but failed for my naivety, and then was afforded a second chance for my privilege. The world is unfair, terribly so, but we have the power to push back against inequalities and injustices, if not overcome them on blessed occasions. To love our neighbour and share in life's bounties. To open our hearts and come together as one. Truer words were never spoken. But without the support of the people, such words are naught but vain platitudes. Thankfully, my recent attempts to make inroads with the monetarists have met with some success. Despite differing views on many subjects, we yet strive to find common ground. Common ground. We've been pouring all our effort into aiding families of the Crania Lupi, and while it seemed to help to a degree, some have still succumbed and turned. Of course, they're not the only ones in danger. Alamegans everywhere, whether they sided with the Empire, fought for the Resistance, or were caught in the middle. They all suffered. They all wake up in the night at times, haunted by memories of death and despair. We know what can happen if those feelings are left to fester. The legacy of the Imperial occupation will not soon be forgotten, but rather than seek to forget, mayhap it is necessary to remember, to acknowledge and accept the truth of it, that they may properly mourn those they have lost. Aye, a remembrance. I propose we hold a memorial ceremony for those who died during the war. Everyone, no matter who they were or what they did. Let them be loved. Let them be hated, but above all, let them be remembered. And in the remembering of the dead, and their honour and their sin, we, the living of Alamigo, may yet find a sliver of common ground. It's a noble sentiment, but bringing together people who have reason to distrust one another and risk inflaming tensions could be a recipe for disaster. Then again, we can't keep ignoring the married in the room and do nothing to address the situation. As long as we leave it to the individuals to decide whether or not to attend the ceremony, I think it's worth a try. Organising an event of this scale will require a great deal of effort, so I offer my full support. Once you know what's needed, come to me and we'll put the plan into action. Obviously, some will balk at the idea, which is perfectly understandable, so I'll be listening to their opinions as well. After all, we want it to be a ceremony that brings Alamegans together. And I was wondering, Your Grace, if I might ask about your approach to, well, talking to people, winning them over. As you can tell, I'm no politician, so I'd be grateful for any advice you can share with me. Why, I would be delighted. As a matter of fact, I have a number of matters I wish to discuss with you. And on that note, I suggest you and I return to Alamigo. Okay, that was level 87, right? So we're halfway there? I knew our involved would make a good impression, but he's outdone himself. Not only has he found a new avenue in life to explore, he's taken to it with considerable aplomb. And while his proposed memorial service is bound to have its detractors, I have faith that many will come around. Not all, but Enough, I pray. For our part, we must stand at the ready for whatever may occur. I shall send word if there are any developments. Commander Alden has asked me to convey you the following information. At present, we're looking into reports of missing relatives of the Crania Lupi. With the cooperation of the Silver Griffins, we're currently searching for any clues as to their whereabouts. Thanks to the concerted efforts of Ragnfrid and the others, the general public have been willing to cooperate with our investigation. Though many still harbour feelings of distrust for the collaborators and their kin, they've grown more receptive to our cause on the whole. Arenvold's been making steady progress in preparing for the memorial ceremony. He plans to host a meeting between the various community leaders to go over the finer details. In fact, he was wondering whether you could assist in delivering the invitations. If you can spare the time, you should be able to find him in the Mercantile District. Anyway, that's all for now. I have a few other matters to attend to, so if you'll excuse me, duty calls. Thanks for coming. Should come as no surprise that planning a memorial ceremony for a whole bloody nation would keep a man busy. But by Rauga, this is something else. The hardest part's been gathering information on those who died in the war, especially when it comes to the skulls and other conscripts, and they're the ones we need to treat most carefully. If we don't acknowledge the crimes of our kin in all their painful truth, then we do a disservice to their victims, living and dead. But if we let people paint them as monsters who did monstrous things we believe we would never do, then we perpetuate a different but no less dangerous lie. As for preparing the event itself, I'll be holding a meeting with members from each of the settlements around Girabania. I've sent invitations to most of them already, but I was hoping you'd help me with the last two. There's Mraz Noon in the Peering Stones and Sarisha in Viranilia. I'll give you one for each. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they refused, considering how their people suffered at the hands of the Skulls. I hope we can remind them that deep down, we're all just people trying to survive, to protect our loved ones. We may have driven the Empire from our lands, but long as we hold fast to the grudges born of their attempts to divide and set us against one another, we'll never be free of their legacy of cruelty. With that in mind, I've included an account of my experiences with the Silver Griffins, and the people I've met. Victims, collaborators, their friends and their family, men and women who lived through it. Survivors. Even if they refuse to join the ceremony, at least they'll know, and hopefully understand, our reasons for holding the event. Granted, I've not had much practice in writing important letters, but I think they'll get the message. You being the one to deliver them will make a world of difference, I'm sure. Take care, won't you? Nyx has gone into where there's just a mess of wires. So I just want to make sure that she doesn't, like, decide that one of them looks tasty. Because, you know, as much as that would potentially cause issues for the stream and my setup, it could also give her a nasty shock and even potentially kill her. So, yeah. Now she's found my bunny ears. Okay. Greetings, friend. It's been too long since last we spoke. What brings you to my village? So the rumors are true. I need not read this letter in full to know its contents. I understand Ragnfrid's volunteers are working to support the families of those lost in the war, which few will deny is a worthy cause, but to include the relatives of the Crania Lupi. The Skulls watched the Empire slay us in our thousands, and still they turned their cloaks and fought for our oppressors. And you would ask us to mourn the deaths of these curs alongside their victims? You have every right to be angry and to refuse. Arenvold wishes only that you read his account before coming to a decision. To dismiss it out of hand would be discourteous. Very well. Family. As Noon, my tribe is my family, and I know all too well the responsibility that brings. I would do anything to protect them. Anything. Loyalty, pride, conscience, my very soul, all are meaningless if I cannot ensure the safety of those I love. I suspected some skulls have been faced with the selfsame choice. To see how their kin suffered, I cannot say I do not understand. Though I wish I did not.
What? What are you meowing for? Huh?
Is it just that you're gonna meow at me when you want up? Is that you going uppies? You're covered in dust from... Jesus, girl. Their crimes will never be forgiven. They cannot be. But I and any others who are willing can offer our prayers for these tortured souls and the men they could have been. Please don't try and go behind the monitors. Please. Thank you. I accept the invitation, not on behalf of the M tribe, but as Miraz Noon. I will put the question to my people that they may decide for themselves. I am also eager to make the acquaintance of the person who wrote this letter. He is not wont to turn a blind eye to the bitter truth, painful though it is to confront. The meeting will be the perfect opportunity to take his measure. It's about a foot shorter than it used to be. Bad joke. Bad joke. Nyx is now just loafing behind my monitor in a corner of my desk. With her back to me. Okay. I think I've pissed her off somehow. Welcome. To what do we owe the pleasure of your visit? Then it is as I suspected. There have been rumors that such a ceremony would take place. Although you have traveled far to make this invitation, I must decline. We cannot mourn the loss of the fallen if the Crania Lupi are to be counted among them. Like the Queliana, they chose to aid the Garlean oppressors, killing and bleeding for those who would pillage our lands. Cowards and traitors all. And are we to assume that Queliana, who died fighting for the Empire, will be honoured as well? If so, that is all the more reason for us to refuse. Arenvold understands and accepts that you might refuse. His only request was that you read his account and then decide. If you insist. No one was spared suffering in the occupation. Not the resistance, not the collaborators, not the families of both. No one. So many would die in shame and ignominy, having sold their souls only to lose everything, is a tragedy and a lesson. If they are forgotten, then the lesson of their folly is forgotten. For the sake of this land we call home, I will join you in remembrance and implore my people to do the same. In mourning, may we strengthen our ties with our neighbours as well. By together facing our past, we can build a foundation for lasting peace and prosperity. It would be my honour to attend the proposed meeting, and I look forward to personally thanking your friend Arenvold for his dedication. I and my peers have much to learn from the example he has set. So, how did you fare in the fringes? They said that about me. It's rare for me to get such glowing praise, especially from renowned leaders like Sarisha and Miraz Noon. More importantly, though, they agreed to attend the meeting. I've got you to thank for that. After all, I imagine it's hard to turn down an invitation when it's hand-delivered by the Warrior of Light herself. Before I get ahead of myself, though, I must remember this is only the beginning. Bringing everyone together is one thing. Coming to an agreement on an extremely divisive issue is a different kettle of fish entirely, as her grace was quick to point out. But, as she's taught me, if our cause is just and our hearts are true, those of like mind will surely come to answer the call. And answer it they have. While there are bound to be differences of opinion, I'm sure there's nothing we can't overcome if we put our minds to it. To that end, I was hoping you could join us, if you've the time to spare. There's still a few loose ends Ragnfrid and I need to tie up beforehand, so we'll meet you in the palace as soon as we can. Just having you there will make a world of difference. Here for the meeting, yes? This looks like it should be voiced, but I know it's not. I like that even the Queequern are here. So, while we all agree upon the importance of the ceremony, we recognise that the inclusion of the Crania Lupi will be distressing for many. I too lost family at their hand. I'd never ask others to forgive and forget. But for all their crimes, they were Alamegans just like us. None made the decision to side with Garlemald lightly. They had a choice, and they chose to betray us. Who among us have not made difficult choices for kith and kin? And do not forget, Fordola chose to stand between us and a primal. What does that have to do with it? Brothers and sisters, arguing will avail us naught. The fate of Alamigo rests on my shoulders and yours, on those of every man, woman, and child that calls these lands home. To uphold our honor, to strive for prosperity, to protect our loved ones. We all know the weight of these responsibilities. 'Twas that self-same weight which drove many of our people to serve our oppressors, misguided as it was. And though they chose a different, unconscionable path in the end, we all wanted the same thing. To deliver our families from persecution, that they might live to see one more day. Because another day in shame and self-hatred was still better than none at all. The regretful dead are survived by their despair. A despair which threatens to drag us all into an abyss from which there is no escape. Know that it surely will if we welcome it into our hearts out of disdain for those we cannot forgive. But we Alamegans will not be so easily defeated. We will stand united and conquer this menace. Every Alamegan who fought and died did so in the hopes that one day we'd be free. And we are free. We are free. By the blood of our fallen brothers and sisters, we are free. Free to lock away the pain and pretend it has no power over us, until it festers and takes us in our beds. And free to lay it bare and let it breathe. To acknowledge and to mourn our people at their best and their worst. The past is ours to bear, all of it, for ourselves, for future generations, so they needn't suffer like we did. Let us make Alamigo a nation where no man's left behind, where he can make all the wrong choices and still be afforded the chance to make a right one. Those lessons with Nanamo paid off, huh? Oh. Hi. You really don't show up at all when I'm wearing black. It's okay. It's okay. That went better than any of us could have hoped for. You have my gratitude for your part in the proceedings. We both know who the real hero of the day was. This was all Arenvold's idea. It was his words that finally won over the naysayers. Now that we have the community leaders on our side, we should have a much easier time convincing the rest of the citizenry. Of course, holding the ceremony is by no means our final objective. No matter what we say, some will refuse to attend. It is my hope, however, that it will still serve to provide a measure of closure for us all, and to ease the plight of the vulnerable and ostracized. Speaking of which, you'll recall the incident with Fordola in Alagana. The young girl she saved and her mother wished to thank her personally. Considering what happened last time, though, I have reservations. It would be a valuable opportunity to present a former skull in a more positive light. On the other hand, I don't need to tell you how unpredictable she can be. And that's before taking her echo into consideration. But that's a conversation for another time. Go. Get some rest. You've earned it.
Hi. Hello. How you doing?
God. Something terrible's happened. It's Fordola. She's escaped. she has a collar. She was accompanying a squadron out on a training exercise. One moment she was there, the next she was gone. I didn't think much of it at the time, but she's been acting strangely ever since she went to meet that mother and child. You know, the one who wanted to thank her for saving the girl's life. When I told Commander Alden about it, he went charging off to Alagana to ask them if they had any idea where she might have gone. I thought about going after him, but then I heard you were headed this way. Reckon it'd be better to send you in my stead. Godspeed. Yeah. Yeah. It would be adorable if that was turning up on the microphone, but I know it's not. Meow, indeed. Okay, you've had enough. That was my nipple. Thank you for that. You're okay, girl. You're okay. You don't have... Okay. And back to licking your own arsehole. Okay. After. I wasn't expecting to see you here. You've heard what's happened then. Just as Fordola was beginning to earn our trust, she's given us the slip. As you may know, she wears a choker enchanted to prevent exactly that. If I were to give the order, she'd be dead within moments. She knows that. She took the risk anyway, so I have to believe she has a good reason. That's what we're looking into now. We were hoping Clorel and young Lyrie here could shed some light on the matter. We'd like to ask you about your conversation with Fordola, if we may. Yes, of course. I know she's the butcher, or was, at least. It didn't seem right to go without thanking her. That's why I requested the meeting, to express my gratitude and my apologies. She was quiet at first, just stood there as we spoke, as if she weren't even listening. Then I mentioned the blasphemy and she looked at Lily and all of a sudden clutched her own head and cried out in agony. The echo. Can you remember what you were thinking about at the time? A man. The one I saw in the city. What? Who? Did he have something to do with all them people panicking? I think he did. When I was waiting for you, I saw him. He was by himself. He looked poorly, so I asked if he was alright, and he said yes. He had a nice smile. He got up and started walking, but then... he was shouting and screaming. I was so frightened I didn't want to talk about it, not even to Mum. I wish you'd said something sooner. I'm sorry, Poppet. This is my fault for leaving you on your own. The man who turned into a blasphemy, I'd wager. The girl saw him, which means Fordola's now seen him too. There was one other thing. When Fordola was having her funny turn. She said something. Charlie? No. Charlotte, I think. Yeah, that was it. Ring any bells? Can't say it does, but if he has anything to do with the skulls, the Silver Griffins should have some information on him. We'd best have a word with Rangenfrid then. Both been very helpful. I'd also like to thank you for being so kind to Fordola. She may not have said it, but I'm sure it meant a lot to her. I've a couple more things I'd like to ask, so I'll catch up with you later. Charlotte, you said? Yeah, that name came up during our recent investigations. As I recall, he served under the Viceroy during the occupation, and his whereabouts is currently unknown. He had an older brother named Ansfrid, one of the Crania Lupi, which would give him a connection to Fordola. Is there anyone who can tell us more about him? Yes, an uncle, who we recently helped find employment here in Alagana. He's actually the one who asked us to look for Charlotte. You'll most likely find him working at the Sleeping Stones as it happens. I was planning to bring him something to eat. I'll join you there shortly. How the fuck? Okay. I just wasn't sure how far it was going to make me go. Perhaps we should have asked what he looks like. Still looking, eh? That's him over there. Hope we're not interrupting. Why is he hot, though? No, of course not. It's good to see you, Ragenfrid. My word, the Bull of Alamigo and the Champion of the Alliance. What brings such esteemed guests to our humble, quarry? At ease, my good fellow. We merely wish to ask you about your nephew. Charlotte, have you found him? No luck yet, then. Is there anything else you can tell us? More about his childhood, perhaps? It wasn't much of one, I'm afraid. Poor boy's life was ruined long before he had any say in the matter. His parents and I swore allegiance to Garlemald to secure ourselves and our kin's citizenship, for all the good it did us here. living amongst our countrymen who treated us as pariah. Took its toll on him and his brother, to be spat on as traitors by association. One thing led to another, and Ansfrid, together with most of his friends, joined the Imperial Army. That's how it started, you know. The Crania Lupi, Gaius's loyal little pups. Do you remember the names of these friends? Yeah, they had quite the reputation growing up. There was Emmeline, Rudolph, and the angry little girl who'd grow up to become the butcher herself, Fordola. Charlotte was part of their group too, yes? But from what we've heard, he chose not to become a soldier. Wouldn't have lasted a day in training. He knew that better than anyone, of course. Not that it helped him to feel any less guilty for turning his back on the others. He blamed himself for their deaths, for not stopping them where he had the chance, for not being strong enough to fight by their side. Maybe save him, maybe not. But he wasn't there. He wished he had been. Then one day, he was gone. Wherever he is, I hope he's safe and well. So do we. Thank you. The information you've shared should prove useful. And for you, I brought some food. Why don't you call it a day and go and enjoy it with your family? Let him have the peace for now. Back to Alagana. Not only is his brother a member of the Skulls, Charlotte himself was a childhood friend of Fordola. I'm told he refused the support of the Silver Griffins as well. He's been trying to make his own way for some time now. His brother and his friends died at Specula Imperatoris, save for Fordola. The gods only know how he felt about her after that. Or how Fordola felt about Charlotte after seeing Lily's memory of him transforming into a blasphemy. Brother of a man she killed and a childhood friend besides. She thinks she's responsible for this. That's why she ran. To kill the beast. Never thought I'd say this, but I'm worried about her. Fordola is a survivor and an outcast herself. Exactly the sort of person the Silver Griffins are trying to support. You've seen for yourself the sacrifices she's willing to make. And if you can learn to feel sympathy for her, maybe others can too. I think we have enough information for the time being. Let's return to the city and plan our next move. I've assigned a few of my soldiers to assist the Silver Griffins in investigating Charlotte's background. With luck, we'll find him quick, and we can prepare for what must come after. We're all but certain Charlotte's the one who transformed into a blasphemy, and so there's naught to be done but put him out of his misery. As for Fidola, I've put Minago and her troops in charge of tracking her. Once they've found her, they have my permission to lend whatever support they deem necessary. If it comes to it, I may ask you to join the search. Until such time, I ask that you take this opportunity to rest. Thank goodness you're here. Commander Alden needs to see you right away. Follow me. Keep it contained until I arrive. Do not engage if you can help it. Understood? That was Minago. Her unit has found Fidola, or rather, she has found them. In fact, Fidola on the search party's link pearl. She wants a word with you. This is urgent, so be quiet and listen. The blasphemy, my friend, is right in front of us. I tracked him down, and when he spotted me, he started heading towards Specular Imperatoris. Look, I need your help. Charlotte's not... He never wanted to hurt anyone, but this thing he's become is... I can't leave him like this. I've got to stop him, whatever it takes. Wait till we get there. Do not engage. Is that clear? I owe you. This is Nago. Can you hear me? We've got the blasphemy It's on the move. Get ahead of it, but maintain distance. We need to... Fidola? What are you doing? Fidola? Fidola! There's no time to waste. They need our help. Radiata and Allegheri are not that far from Specular Imperatoris. If we let the blasphemy slip through our fingers, doesn't bear thinking about. And while Fidola's determined to slay it by her own hand, we can't allow her recklessness to put the lives of others in jeopardy. The time's come for action. Are you ready? Hold the line, for as long as you can. Commander Alden and the Warrior of Light will be here any moment. Stay strong. You've done well. Leave the rest to us. Yes, sir. Get the injured to safety. Coward. Oh, it's purple. Coward. Traitor. To them. To everyone. Wish there was another way. So do I. Fighting's the only thing I'm good at. Makes me wonder how I ended up with such a clever brother. Too clever for my own good, maybe. Just the thought of going into battle about getting hurt. About having to hurt other people. He's a bleeding heart, our Charlotte. Sooner befriend a fly than shoo it away, much less kill it. I could kill if I wanted. I could. But you don't. And there's no shame in that. Leave the soldiering to us. We'll show the Guardians what we're capable of, get the power and respect we deserve, and then things will change. They will. You'll see. We found a place for ourselves, and you'll find yours soon enough. Alright, that'll do. Everyone who's enlisting, meet back here tomorrow. In the end, what good did I do? I gave everything they had to give, while I hid, like a rat waiting for the storm to pass. Coward. 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 Ugh! Coward. Coward. Better dead. Better forgotten. It's not your fault, Charlotte. It's not. You didn't do anything wrong. I'm the coward. The traitor. The butcher. I'll always be the butcher. Don't you dare, Fordola. You don't get to end it. You don't get to give up. I won't let you. You have a lifetime to make amends and atone. To become something more than you were. But if you die here, you are everything they say. Everything you believe. Is that what you want? She's not going anywhere. What the fuck are you doing here? Arendvold? Why are you here? There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Can't fight by your side, but I can still cheer you on. I've seen your past, Charlie. How you were left behind while your friends rushed into battle. Bloody hard, isn't it? Wanting to do something so desperately, with every fibre of your being, knowing that you should be able to. You should. But you can't. So you find another way to support them. Your way. You did that too, didn't you? You were there for them. Even if it didn't feel like it. But you were. You were. As a friend of mine once said, not all heroes are forged in the fires of battle. The history of Alamigo is writ in blood. While we cannot change the past, we can change the future. And for that, we must all play our part. All of us. You too, Fordola. Ansfrid, Emmeline, one day we'll be together again, but not yet. You'd never hurt anyone, Charlotte. That's not who you are. You'll be remembered as the kind soul you always were. He honestly looks like something I would have fought in Nier. I'm counting on you. Or actually, from what I've seen of Claire Obscure 33, Expedition 33, kind of looks like he could be from that as well.
As one!
Levin Sphere. Lightning aspected ether. Keep away from it. Please. I taught myself how to sage at level 90 earlier. I may not be doing a very good job still, but... shit. Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay, yeah, cover. Thank you, Raban.
Show them what we're made of!
As far as healer-based fight go, this one's actually not bad. Maybe it's because I'm doing it as Sage though, so I'm taking on more of a DPS role anyway. Oh, that's cool. Oh, can I have that version for my paladin? Thank you. I mean it. Been looking everywhere for you. Have you now? Put down the last remaining beast spawned by the blasphemy. It's a pity we could do naught for those who turned, but that we were able to prevent further casualties is nothing short of a miracle. It's astonishing, too, looking back at Charlet's case. Although his existence spurred others to transform, he never attacked any settlements or travellers, even when he underwent the change in the middle of a crowded street. Those who were present escaped with minor injuries at worst. I think that, deep down, his compassion is what kept the raging blasphemy at bay. The only time he emerged from hiding was to journey to the place where his brother died. Aye, it's clear he still retains some semblance of his former self. Another victim of the Empire's terrible legacy, along with his friends and so many others. But the Crania Lupi wasn't the creation of the Imperials alone. Many of those youths sought a place with them because they were denied one with us. And that's why the memorial service is so important. It's our chance to face our paths together. To give them in death what we couldn't in life. To not deny anyone a place in memory. Even if it hurts and makes us feel ashamed. You'll be attending, won't you? I've been ordered to, so suppose not. In light of your leal service to Alamigo, I intend to have the conditions by which you are bound eased. Provided I am able to obtain approval, you will be granted a degree of freedom. At the very least, we should soon have no need for that choker. There'll be no objections from me. You've done well. If I didn't know better, I'd think you were smiling. Well, I for one couldn't be happier our efforts are being recognised. Gives me that much more motivation to continue my work with the Silver Griffins and bring the people of Alamigo closer together. Gotta do my best to keep up with a certain little lordling, eh? I think we've done enough for one day. Time we got some rest. Allow me, as both the Guardian of Alamigo and as your sworn comrade, to express my thanks for coming to our aid in these desperate times. No matter what manner of disaster may befall us, your presence alone is enough to keep the flame of hope burning bright. Aye, even someone on the very precipice of despair such as Fordola can find salvation in your guiding light. Heavens forbid people would stop throwing themselves in harm's way at every opportunity. You're something of an immortal flame yourself. Laying it on a bit thick, aren't you? No, heavens forbid people would stop throwing themselves in harm's way at every opportunity. I turn around for 5 minutes and the world's about to end again. And put your healers out of a job? Not a chance. Though, in all seriousness, we could all stand to take fewer risks. In any case, it's safe to say we've all benefited enormously from your sterling work here. We couldn't ask for a better healer, or a better friend. Our ambassador in Razat Han will be relieved to learn of our successes here. If you happen to cross paths, give him my regards, would you? Wrong turn. Greetings. How goes it in Alamigo? Eliminating blasphemies, helping organize a memorial ceremony. Certainly kept you busy. A fine example of going above and beyond the call of duty. We'll be sure to send word of your exploits to Uldar. Wait till the Sultana hears about this. Her Grace will be the only one to welcome this news. On behalf of the Grand Company of Eorzea and our allies, allow me to express my most heartfelt gratitude. Sweet. So yeah, now we just have the ranged DPSs, both magical and physical. Cool. Yeah. Tomorrow I will be starting the stream earlier than usual. Because I will be doing Delibram Regine Savage with the Savage Slimes Discord. And, yeah. I have no idea how it's going to go. It is similar to the Baldessian Arsenal in Eureka, which I enjoyed. But it's also more complicated than that was. So yeah, I'm interested to see how it goes. If we're successful, I get a new mount, which is awesome. And it also will give me resources toward making the ultimate Bosnia armor set of the augmented law armor set. The one that makes you look like one of the judges from Final Fantasy XII. So, yeah. I'm interested to see how that's going to go. But, thank you very much for watching. And I will catch you, hopefully, tomorrow. See ya.